Yeah, good morning, guys. This is me, your brother, your friend, Human Steven, right here. This morning, it'll be a very quick one because like I always do, I'm in the office, so I just decided to do it very quickly because of a time factor. I saw a very disturbing video yesterday, and I was a little bit perplexed. I was devastated. Seeing how fellow Nigerians were being maltreated, humiliated, beaten like animals by the tourist group that actually kidnapped them. I'm talking about the Kaduna-Abuja, we kidnapped victims. We can't play the video right here because of the rules in case YouTube. But if you actually watch that video and see the way and manner this guy were groaning in pain while they were being flogged, with whips, shows the excess of inhumanity to man on the side of the kidnappers, and also the insensitiveness of the federal government of Nigeria. For those of you that actually hears Hausa or Fulani, depending on which one they were speaking there, you can also be told that they actually threatened to kidnap the president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the Kaduna counterpart, Malam Nasari El-Rufai. I remember around 2020 or thereabout, I made a video where I was still back there in Europe that there was a statement that was made by the now governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasari El-Rufai, in an interview that he actually had with Sheung on Arise TV. No, on the TV channels. And in that very particular broadcast, I think Nasari El-Rufai said that he had to go as fast as going to Mali to pay a certain amount of money to these boys to stop killing his people. And when he made that statement there, I came out and I did a video and I said, that is a pointer that is actually concerned or is actually involved in the carnage that was taking place in the state. I also remember a story that was trending around some time ago, immediately after the 2015 general election, that Nasari El-Rufai actually led some mercenaries of the Fulani extraction from Mali, Niger, Chad, Gabon, and all those areas where they actually reside, and invited them into Nigeria prior to the 2015 general election for one particular reason. That if Goodluck Jonathan finally wins the election, the Nigerian government should be invaded. Do not also forget, guys, that the now president, then the candidate of APC, said that baboons and monkeys will be filled with blood if it doesn't win the 2015 general election. And thank God for his infinite mercy, the election was won by him. And thank God for the humility and the simplicity of the then Goodluck Jonathan administration. He made a very critical statement that his ambition does not worth the blood of any Nigerian. And he decided to relinquish power to Buhari. Actually, before then, there was already what we call the Boko Haram that actually emanated around 2010, 2011, before the demise of our great president, President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. And we also know then the governor of Borno State was Sheriff, who the governor be after him was Kasim Shatima, who is the presidential vice president of candidate of APC. He was a commissioner in the government of Sheriff, who actually started this whole idea of the Boko Haram, issue. We also know that we were told by unverified sources that Boko Haram actually started with Sheriff when he used them to actually win the election in 2007. Okay, guys. Now, why is it that Kaduna State have become the hallmark of kidnapping? Why is it that Kaduna State have become the headquarters of kidnapping in the whole of Africa? We need to go back. That's why I have to do some analysis. What I call the narrative analysis of what has transpired all this while. We are told that the guys that was imported were actually camped around Kaduna-Abuja of Nigeria. Nextly, Goodluck Jonathan made that congratulatory call to President Muhammadu Buhari. That disrupted the entire process of invasion and mayhem on the Nigerian state. Based on the verified sources that we got information from, the boys became trapped. The boys were no more catered for by the people that actually invited them in to cause mayhem. And we're told, based on what we have heard, that for them to survive, they went into the illicit businesses that they are going into today. Having seen that it is now very, very successful and lucrative, they refuse to back out. Based on the newspaper report that I read yesterday, I think these guys have actually gotten over ₦1 billion as ransom for the Kaduna-Abuja railway kidnapping. Over ₦1 billion. Over ₦1 billion as ransom. One paid the 100 million, some group and go paid about 800 million, and so on and so forth. So that shows the business have become too lucrative for these boys to want to back out. And their sponsors are also making hell. Also making hell to what is happening, guys. 1 minute. Also making hell from it because people are actually sponsoring them. So that alone is creating a very, very tough Just hold on, guys. I need to get something. Now, the people are actually making air from what is happening there. So everyone is not happy because there's a business that has been created as a result of this very particular, crime. Now, these boys are now doing more than we can ever imagine. Yesterday, I think on Friday, I was speaking with some group of Nigerian military men who are from the Southern extraction. No, what was the Southern? The one was from the North Central, the Middle Belt. They are friends. They actually came from Warri, to do some job in Benin. We were talking, and we started talking about these kidnappers. You'll be surprised at what these guys told me. The guy, particularly the one from the Middle Belt, he said, "Okay, if you catch any of these Fulani herders who are kidnappers or who invade your farms, who rape your wife, who kill your fathers and uncles, say don't bring them to the police station. Do what you can do to them at the point of the crime. As far as they are being caught red-handed committing that crime, do not bring them to the station." And asking why. That's the jungle justice. So the truth of the matter is this: if you bring them in, they will never do anything to them. He asked a simple question: have you ever seen any Fulani extraction being done in a court of law in Benin? So have you ever seen any Fulani extraction caught red-handed in a crime scene that is still in police custody? Said, go to every police station in Benin, in the Edo State today, where you live, you can't find one. So the moment they get to the station, some big men from somewhere will make a call across to the AIG, giving an ultimatum why that guy should be released immediately. If you love your job or if you love your family, so this is the truth. I was shocked. I'm putting up a foundation on why APC should never be considered to return back to power. I was amazed. At the level that our security had degenerated to, that people will be caught in the act of criminality, and a guy sitting in Abuja will make a call across to the AIG, the commissioner, and order an immediate release of such criminals at the detriment of the victims. You guys were also aware that the aide to Gumi, Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, the Islamic scholar, went into the den of the kidnappers and do a negotiation. There was also a video on social media some time ago when a military guy, one of the soldiers, said they were being asked not to take drastic actions against these boys called kidnappers. That it led for them alone, they are too small for them to deal with. Maybe many of you watched that video on social media. It means this government is actually pampering crime, because there is a regional, ethnic, and tribal coloration to how decisions are being made in Nigeria. This group, the same group of people, the APC, decided to make Nigeria to be more or less like a Fulani empire. And they wanted to not do the war, they now also made to become more or less like an Islamic nation. The president is a Muslim. The head of the judiciary is a Muslim. Don't forget, the president is the head of the executive. The head of the legislature is a Muslim. 3 of them of the northern extraction. They're coming down to the head of the military, the army, the navy, the air force, the civil corps, the immigration. Just name them. They are all of the same faith and the same region. That has actually bastardized and actually created a very awkward, reasoning in the mind of the people. I said in one of my videos, it doesn't matter what Bat and his team are going to do, it is not going to please the conscience of the Christians. Nothing they will do that is actually going to please the conscience of the Christians. Nothing they're going to do that is going to please the conscience of the Christians. Nothing they're going to do. Do you know why? Because there is already this mindset that has been created as a result of the ethnic and religion line that have been drawn by this government and this party since they came into conception, into power in 2015. Now I'm going to read to you something that is so crazy. There is a guy that was actually combined in Zamfara State. A wanted terrorist, guys, listen now. A wanted terrorist was combined in Zamfara. And in the video that was trending online, policemen were saying guiding a wanted criminal. I mean, policemen were saying guiding a wanted criminal, guys. Somebody whose picture have been put in every newspaper, whose picture have been put in every TV houses in Benin, who the police themselves declared wanted. But on this day of the combining of this guy, policemen were seen protecting him. This is just to show that crime is payable in Nigeria setting of today. This is just to show for you to be known and respected, you must actually verge into crime. This is what we are experiencing. This is the Nigeria of today. So what I do to kidnap victims, notorious terrorist warlord Aleru shares stunning revelations. So the Zamfara State kidnap kingpin has shared strong details on what is done to adopted victims. Listen, guys. In a recent documentary, Ada Alero disclosed that he is only interested in killing the victims, the kidnapped victims, and not just adopting them. Can you imagine that? Killing the victims, not adopting them. Meanwhile, kidnapping and killing of victims is the new norm for bandits in some part of the country, which has kept state governors on their feet. Nowhere is safe in Nigeria anymore. A notorious banditry kingpin, identified simply as Ada Alero, who was recently named the Shakin Fulani Yando Ton Deji Emirates, the head of the Fulani in Yando Ton Deji, in a stony confession, disclosed he does not kidnap people but kills them. The coronation of Alero, who is the leading tourist in Tisafe and Faskari, Aziz of Zamfara and Katsina State, generated public outcry across the country, Premium Times reports. The state government subsequently suspended the emir of Ton and others. Now, that's not it. Now, you can see that now. He said he kidnapped victims just to kill them. That is the Nigeria we are finding ourselves today. Why do any sensible Nigeria want to repeat failure? We have not a Muslim president and a Christian weak vice president. Yet, the high level of atrocity being committed in the name of religion has gone to the sky, where the vice president could not even speak in defense of his faith. The Kaduna evangelist of the same denomination with the vice president was murdered. Deborah Samuel was murdered in Sokoto State. The Igbo woman that was murdered in Kano when someone came in front of her shop washing his leg and her head was cut off and hung on a tree and used to dance around Kano State. And many others, uncountable victims that has fallen as a result of the lopsidedness of this government. You know, talk of now that you're not having a Bola Ahmed Tinubu who is a Muslim, a strong Muslim, and Kashim Shatima, who is a well-known fanatical Muslim with a very deep ideology about jihad and the Sharia. How do you think you're going to have a safe Nigeria where a Christian pastor vice president could not model or try to change the mindset of the government? Now that you now have a Muslim ticket, how can you explain that the lives of the Christians will be safeguarded if peradventure the APC wins again? Many today are clamoring for the return of APC, all for political gain and the affiliation to the party, not on the basis of true consciousness and the well-being of the nation Nigeria. Guys, do not forget, on Friday, the Minister of Finance said Nigeria is broke, officially broke, that our borrowing is now higher. That is, our return payback is now higher than our revenue. So in a position whereby what you are borrowing, what you are earning is bigger than what you are going to pay back, you are now on a deficit. And no nation of the world will be ready to borrow you more money because they know you can't pay. That is the point that the Nigerian government have found themselves right now under this government of APC. Do not forget, guys, in 2015, a bag of rice was 18,000. Today, a bag of rice is 32,000, 35,000 naira. Do not forget, guys, in 2015, a tin of milk was sold at 18 naira. Today, a tin of milk is between 300 to 400. Do not forget that the sardine was sold for 150 naira in 2015. As of today, one sardine sold for 700 naira. Sold at 87 naira. Today, it is sold as high as 200 naira today. And a diesel is sold as high as 850 naira. Do not forget, guys, that a loaf of bread, which sold for 600 naira today, was actually sold for 100 and 120 naira as of 2015. Do not forget, a dollar to a naira was 150 naira. As of today, a dollar is going to 700 naira per dollar. Do not forget that before the coming in of this present administration, the Nigerian debt was very, very low. It was about 35% or thereabout to the revenue being gotten. But as of today, it is 100. Whatever we send today is used in paying back the debt that they have incurred. This is the Nigeria they placed us in, and many of us are still very, very open to support them. I read, a very, embarrassing statement on social media about Pastor Tunde Bakare that is actually saying that a Muslim ticket had nothing to do with Nigeria. But thank God he actually come out to debunk the story. So if anybody, listen guys, if anybody within the PDP house, within the APC houses can actually write such a very derogatory statement or news against Tunde Bakare, all in the name to make a point, they can do anything to deceive the people. That statement was actually used in deceiving the populace, that the Almighty Tunde Bakare was in support of a Muslim ticket at the detriment of the Nigerian people. But thank God he had come out to debunk that news. That tells you how very, very funny and malicious the APC are. They are not concerned over the well-being of Nigerians. They are not concerned over the predicament they put us into. They are only concerned over holding on to power at all costs. That was why during the unveiling of the presidential candidate of APC, they came with an unknown bishops. One, of the people who actually supported the government says they are upcoming bishops. Guys, do you know? Guys, I want to advise you. You can go to my wall on Facebook. You have the telephone number. I randomly called about five of them. Five of those numbers. You know what? I was shocked. The entire five I called said they were not even aware that their number and names, were even written. That they were not aware of that event. That were they in Abuja. One of them said he had not been in Abuja in the last 4 months. The last time he went to Abuja was in March or April. But his name and telephone number appeared on the list that was given as the people that came in. If anyone can still manage, I repeat, can still manage Christian clerics to come to an event that they said religion does not matter, that shows the extent of the dubiousness of this party to the Nigerian people, the insincerity of APC. Now, let me tell you something. Immediately, this guy, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, took over or won the presidential election and came out with his VP to be a Muslim ticket. He said what he was looking at was not religion but competency. Okay, guys, that's what he said. So he was not interested in religion, he was actually interested in competency. Now, when there was now an outburst of the Christian religion in Nigeria over the insensitivity of these people against other religions, they begin to package hungry-looking Nigerians. They can be bishops. Yeah. There are many bishops today who are really hungry, who their congregation is not even up to 50, who needs to survive. And such a bishop who is not being paid 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 naira will do anything just to survive because they don't care. Listen, not everyone who actually wear the bishop clerics or collars are actually Christians. Okay? There are many churches today that was open all in the name just to survive because the Nigerian government has so much bastardized our economy that everybody needs to survive. Okay, so when you're actually unveiling a presidential candidate and the caliber of people that came to that event are unknown bishop, upcoming bishop according to a Bola Ahmed Tinubu support group, upcoming bishop, that shows the desperation in the heart and in the mind of APC. Guys, do not also forget this. I can promise you, if a Christian, like, let's just, for example, now, if presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, have done that, bringing some Aba boys, some Yoruba boys, some Benin boys, who are not of the Muslim or Islamic extraction, to dress like an imam and impersonate them, by now, I can say categorically clear without any order of doubt that the northern part of Nigeria today will be on fire. That very particular, region or tribe who is leading such a sacrilege would have been maimed and many lives would have been taken, just to make a point that they've crossed the red line. That's what actually happened at the unveiling. That tells you the desperation why APC should never be trusted. They have an agenda. and they are ready to carry out their agenda. Let me also tell you something, guys. Do you know why they gave Bola Tinubu Kassim Shettima? It is for the purpose of the continuation of President Muhammadu Buhari colonization legacy. Kassim Shettima is like I said, is a fanatical Muslim. One who believes in the ideology of Sharia must rule over Nigeria. It's an hardened Islamic color. So they don't need a moderate Muslim to pilot the affair, because anyone who comes in right now as a moderate Muslim will actually water down on all that Buhari had done. And not really where the head nature of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he will not be able to perform excellently well. So a strong, vibrant, strong-hearted Islamic scholar was placed behind him so that he can be able to carry out all the plans that is already atomized. Because there's a time frame. We have heard of a guy that was kidnapped in Ogun or thereabout that came out. He said they told him that they are gathering money to buy weapons. And at the moment they are ready, they're going to invade the south. That from the Sahel to the savannah or to the Atlantic Ocean belongs to them, and they are taking it over by force. So if any of you believes that we that are talking, we are just talking because we have no job, you should start thinking again, guys. How can some group of people go into the den of the kidnappers and negotiate with them and bring out the victims? And the police have not actually asked where are they residing so that they can be attacked. Why do you want to vote a government or a party that have never met well for this nation? In the last 7.5 years that this government has been in power, inflation has skyrocketed. It has hit the roof. The dignity of Nigeria be reduced to the dearest minimum. That even in nearby African states, our African nation, Nigerians are being treated like a nobody. How do you want to vote a government where the former president or the present president was sick, and anytime you ask, you say he's not even aware, and now they are bringing in another sick president again into Nigeria? How can we give a sick nation to a sick man to look after? Nigeria is in dire need of vibrant, articulate, and well-structured people to rule this nation out of the woods. We are going into extinction if you don't know. The economy burden on Nigeria today is too enormous to just play politics with, guys. Nigeria is one of the nations of the world that is owing China billions upon billions of dollars. And you know what that means? The moment the Nigerian government is unable to pay based on the clause that was discovered by the National Assembly on what China said they're going to take over our resources. And you know what they're going to take over? They're going to take over our oil wells. They will take over NAPC. That is why the Nigerian government quickly had to make NAPC to become a limited liability company. Guys, wake up. The idea of President Muhammadu Buhari and his cohort making NAPC to become a limited liability company is to avert the taking over of that company by the Chinese government, because that is where their interest lies. Because that's the only place that the northern Fulanis are interested in. They don't care about the Molecular Mohammed port in Lagos. They don't, because they have one in Kaduna State. They don't care about any other thing. What they only care about is the oil coming from the south. So they quickly have to make it a limited liability company and make the present group managing director as the CEO of the new company called the NNPCL. Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. Do you know what that means right now? That means, therefore, that the present CEO is part of the owner of the company. So we certain we just sit down here and we don't think. Thank God for my sister Asa, who went there and during the unveiling, and they asked her to sing a song, and he told them there is fire on the mountain and nobody is doing anything. There's high fire on the mountain and our people are just showing some level of concern. Let's not be deceived, guys. Nigeria is at the verge of collapsing. Now we are officially broke. Now, security-wise, we are broke because we are down to earth as far as security is concerned in this nation. Our leaders aren't working in all spheres. Our education system have been on strike for 6 months. And now the president is given an ultimatum of 2 weeks. For goodness sake, President Muhammadu Buhari, where have you been? You see why you should never, ever vote APC again. Bola Mesumu said, I wish that ASU is on strike. And I said, what? Have you not been on? Have you not been aware that ASU have been on strike all this while? That is campaign strategy. Don't be fooled. In October 2020, Bola Tinubu said the youth that were killed by the soldiers at Lekki Toll Gate deserve what they got. This is a man who wants to take over today the affair of Nigeria to rule the same youth that he killed while they were fighting for their rights. What do you expect to happen if they eventually came into the corridor of power? I also had a news that the Lagos State government, Lagos State House of Assembly, has actually passed a law on Sharia on Lagos. How true that is, that we don't know. So they did it in order for Bola Tinubu to actually tell the northern, fanatical Muslim that he is working hand in hand with them. I am also aware of how Bola Tinubu went to the Islamic, council to solicit their support, telling them this is the best bet for the Muslim in Nigeria, a Muslim ticket. Thank God for some of my Muslim brothers who are actually understanding that what they are about to do is to put Nigeria into war. A Muslim brother said, and I quote, said, can we accept a Christian ticket in the north? Do unto others what you wishes others to do unto you. Do unto others what you wish them to do to you in return, guys. So then I sit down to ask people, why? How do you manage? Sit down in your house. How do you manage to support this government that have put us in this mess? How do you sleep at night having think over what the Nigerians are going through? Many of us are surviving by grace in this nation. In the midst of abundance, we are the headquarters of poverty in Nigeria, in the world. We had the highest employment rate in the whole of the world. Come on, guys. How can you think of voting a government that has taken you from grace and dropped you in grass? How can you vote a man who could not even remember the name of his political party? There is a video trending online. He said, and I quote, I think he said something about AC. In 2022, AC has gone into extinction since 2014. Head is golden. I'm not laughing his head. But one thing you guys need to know is this: the guy is not earth-wise balanced. So invariably, you are handing over Nigeria to Kassim Shettima, a Boko Haram apologist, a Boko Haram sympathizer, a funder. You remember in 2015, before the Shibo gets adoption, the then Minister of Education, now the governor of River State, wrote him and told him, based on intelligence report from DSS, they were about to struck, that he should take all the guests in the hostel at Chibok to Maduguri for their WAEC examination. This same Shettima, Kassim Shettima, refused to do, based on intelligence report that came from DSS. A few days later, the Boko Haram came into Chibok on trucks. The Boko Haram came into Chibok on a tippers without no obstruction from the military at checkpoints. And they took these guys away. And they used these guys to bring down the government of Goodluck Jonathan. When the Dapchi guest was also kidnapped, every other guest were released except the Christian girl, who refused to denounce her faith. And because of that, she was kept there. Now she had had 3 babies for these monsters. The APC government refused to do nothing about her release, despite the strong will of this girl. The decision of Liash was supposed to be what would have prepared a reasonable government to make sure that she is brought alive back to her parents and back to her faith, so that people will have confidence in the government of the APC. But that they never did. Why will anyone with every sense of reasoning who want to bring back a government that has failed us woefully in all ramifications? Except we want to continue in this mode that we are of suffering, being treated like a second-class citizen in our own nation. They went to Imo State. 14 youth were killed, all in the name of IPOB and unknown government. I'm not supporting these guys. What is good for one should be good for all. That is my take. They can go into their hiding places where they kept their kidnapped victims and raid the place, but they cannot go. They cannot do the same in the Fulani hideout. That brings suspiciousness, guys. You can go as far as going into their enclaves and fish them out. The strength, the power that the Nigerian military uses in the east, they can use 1/10 of that in Kaduna State, and I'm very sure they would have cleared that part of Nigeria from these bandits. Is that the government you wanted to come to power? That is very, very sentimental, very tribalistic, have high level of bigotry, very nepotic in nature in 2023. Guys, let's wake up. We can't continue to play. Nigeria needs to grow. Let's vote for competency. Let's vote for the right choice. Let's take sentiment apart. Let's vote where we still have the chance of correcting the abnormality. Guys, let me tell you before I go. You know, in Afghanistan, there was a government that was sponsored or supported by the United States. And there was also a terrorist group who wanted to take over the democratic process of Afghanistan, known as the Taliban. Taliban have been in Afghanistan for years. For years. And there was a process of the withdrawal of international troops from Afghanistan. Somehow, the Biden administration made a blowout. Let's not forget, do you know that Bola Tinubu actually gave Biden $100 million during the election of Biden back to power? Go check. He made a blowout. Whether it was on purpose or it was a mistake, that I can tell you. And they withdrew the troop at once. And that gave rise to the Taliban taking over the reign of government in Afghanistan today. Guys, what we have today in Nigeria, the Boko Haram, the ISWAP, are actually part and parcel of the international terrorist organization who wants Islam to be the foundation of Christianity. I mean, of all governments. Listen, now when I say Islam, I'm talking about the fanatical ones. They are moderate Islams who actually believe that all should live in peace and harmony. Like the digital imam in Abuja and many others, like the one in Dubai, in Australia and co, who believes that they should be moderate. Everybody should live in peace based on what the Holy Quran says. But there are some who are very, very fanatical. Just fanatical ones are the ones that are creating war and tension all over the world. And that is where the Boko Haram and the ISWAP of the Nigeria belongs to. A weak president of the person of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and with a fanatical, fundamentalist Muslim of the person of Kashim Shatima, is a danger, is a time bomb that will explode on Nigerians if we are not very careful. You know, I won in 2015, over Buhari's coming. Go check my videos, but nobody listened. Nobody actually listened. Everybody saw it as inconsequential, unimportant. I won. Today we are seeing it clearly before us, and I'm warning again, Nigerians: do not fall for their gimmicks. These people do not really mean well for this nation. Vote right, vote competency, not party. Vote individual with integrity. Don't sell your conscience. Don't sell your vote. Be a patriotic Nigeria. Let's unite together and make Nigeria work. There's no place on earth that will be our own except Nigeria. If you refuse to go back home, you become a fugitive. Doesn't matter how many years you spent in that man's land, you can never be treated as being part and parcel of them 100%. Remember this: February 2023, the destiny of Nigeria and Nigerians are in your hands. Do the needful. Let us be proud that the aim will bring a government that have the interests and the will of the people at heart. Vote for Peter Obi. He's the man of this moment. He's not a saint, but I can tell you he's better than all the candidates that have come up for this election. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. I need to quickly run back now. Today's Monday, I need to quickly run back and look at things and do this. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for your time. Until see you again later. Bye for now. My name is Human Steven, and I say, God bless you all.